Hi everybody, thanks for coming to look at this demonstration. So what I'd like to talk to you today is about a unique product called an Equity Index Universal Life. We'll call it EIUL. Have you ever wanted to know of a way to safely invest money, provide adequate life insurance for protection for your family, and also build long-term wealth? We can achieve all these things with an EIUL. It's very effective in reducing the amount of taxes that you pay. It also gives you clearly defined terms for your life insurance policy. It's also renewable for life, so it's something you can count on. As well as it's a great way to save money. I'm going to talk a little bit about the way the EIUL works and what types of competitive products there are in the market today. As far as investing, especially with such a volatile market that we have today, we can become very concerned with how we invest our money and where we put our money. The EIUL is very unique because in the cash value that we build, which I'll explain in a minute, it has a floor of a 1% minimum, but then it has a ceiling of 12%. So any money invested in the EIUL that goes towards your cash value, your retirement fund that you're trying to build, there is no risk of losing money. Currently we have several different ways to invest money for retirement. The first one is they call a tax debit, which is your 401ks, an IRA, which is set up through individually. Your 401k is usually set up with an employer. The 401k is great because you get a match. It's free money, and you should also take advantage of that. A EIUL does not go in place of a 401k, but if you don't have a 401k option, an EIUL would be great to use, or also use along with it. The holdback on these products is it's a tax deferred. All the money you put in there is not taxed from your income, but it is taxed when you withdraw that. And you can't withdraw it until retirement age without paying additional taxes or penalty fees. It's kind of the scenario they use, the farmer says, would you rather pay taxes on the seeds or the harvest? This applies to 401ks. You do get to get the advantage of the tax deferred money, but if you have a lump sum of $1 million, by the time you reach retirement age, and you plan to live on a salary of $100,000, and you draw 10% of that, we never know how much you're going to pay in taxes. Taxes are always going up. It could be 25, 30% by that time, which comes directly out of your income for your bottom line. Now, something else that's a little bit better than that to take advantage of taxes is your Roth IRAs. And a Roth IRA works in the same way that it doesn't grow tax deferred, but you don't have to pay the taxes when you draw it out. You do have to pay an income tax though. So there's still a little bit of a restriction with the Roth IRA. Now with an EIUL, we almost call it a tax netter. Your money that you invest into your EIUL is for your term life insurance policy as well as your cash value. Which basically, a term life insurance policy, when they say term, means it has a specific defined amount of time before it runs out. So if you have 20 years of term life, over that 20 years, in the unfortunate event if something were to happen to you, then your policy is paid out if you meet those terms. Which a lot of people are skeptical of term life because the terms are so unclearly defined, and the coverage can be pulled from you. But at 20 years, hopefully, if you live through that time, you don't get any of the money back that you paid in premium. And then to renew that term, it may cost more money, or you may be of an age where it's not renewable. Now, an EIUL is renewable for life, and it's basically what you have in the middle. You pay your premium. But then you also use the money you pay your premium plus an additional amount up to as much as you want, and you build a cash value. Around it you have a wrapper, and that's your term life. Like I said again, the term life is renewable. Now when you get to the point where you want to start withdrawing money from your cash value, you become completely vested at about the 10-year margin. And there's no penalty to draw this money at any age. So it's a liquid account. Also, the great news about the cash value that you build within the EIUL is that when you draw the money out, you actually borrow it against your insurance policy. So since you are now self-insured in the United States, you pay no taxes on that money. So it's a great way to even roll a 401k or a Roth IRA into an EIUL to avoid those taxes, and also to be able to build your compounded interest without paying taxes on them for capital gains year after year. In addition to the EIUL having the term life coverage and that's renewable in the cash value. If in the event that something were to happen and you were to pass, then your premium that you've been paying for your life insurance will then go to you or your beneficiaries, as well as your cash value. Even once you reach the point of retirement age, the cash value that you still have left is now transferable inheritance to a family member or whatever your beneficiary is that you assign, plus your term policy is, so you win on both sides. An EIUL is a great thing to have. Everybody needs to find a way to provide adequate health insurance for their family. They need to find a way to be financially responsible for retirement. And with all the tax loopholes and the volatility of the market, an EIUL is one of the safest, most efficient ways to cover all three of those products. Most people in America, well, nobody ever plans to fail. They just fail to put a plan in place. An EIUL is a great plan for any family, no matter what your economic status is. And there's many companies out there that can come and sit down with you and go over specific terms of modifying an EIUL that will best fit the needs for your family. There's companies out there that I recommend. Pacific Life and Western Reserve Life are companies that I work very closely with. They care about families. They sell these policies around the world, and it's been a very stand-up product. So I like to sit down with anybody that's interested, and we can go over this stuff. I can give you a spreadsheet, a printout of exactly what funds could look like in the future, and what the potential growth of these funds are. And again, remember, I know that with the economy the way it is, a lot of people fear about putting their money in the market, but you have that floor of 1%, which means you maintain any money you invest plus an additional 1%. They achieve that by paying off the S&P 500. They pay off a dividend. So even if the S&P 500 has a very poor quarter, a negative quarter, they still pay a dividend of their profit, which is how they fund the interest earned on the cash value. Thank you very much for your time.